Hello string players, welcome back to my channel. I hope your day is going well. You probably clicked on this video because you want to improve your vibrato skills, and as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to talk about a very common pitfall when it comes to vibrato that happens in many musicians, including advanced musicians and professionals. And I'm going to show you my favorite remedy to solve this. So this pitfall can happen to anyone. I see this across the entire spectrum of players, including professionals. And this is even something that I have to always remind myself. So being aware of and accepting our weaknesses is a very important step towards musical growth. I say accepting because in order to strengthen a weakness, we should first accept and acknowledge it from an objective standpoint, in a non-judgmental way. By the way, if you are new to vibrato or you are returning to fundamentals after taking an extensive break, I recommend that you actually save this video for later and go watch and follow some of my earlier videos on vibrato which go over the fundamentals. I will link those down in the description below if you want to do that first. Also, if you are new to this channel, my name is Langerman and I post videos on a weekly basis to help you along your musical journey. Please take a moment now to subscribe to my channel down below and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my weekly videos. And if you prefer to see a mini version of these videos, or if you want to listen to me practicing instead, then head over to Instagram and follow me at Violinna. And in addition, if you would like to see more details on these topics and some other topics, I welcome you to join other musicians and sign up for my free bi-monthly newsletter, which goes out on the 1st and 15th of every month. That way you can stay up to date, and occasionally you're going to get exclusive tools in addition to my public videos and blogs. I'll leave all the links in the description down below to sign up. So the big vibrato pitfall that I have in mind is what I call defaulting. So it's, essentially vibrating everything the same way, in a way that feels easy and convenient. Usually when musicians learn vibrato, they settle into a pattern that really works for them, that they can use on a day-to-day basis. But the problem is that it's easy to get really comfortable there and not develop that technique further. And what happens with defaulting is that a lot of times the music asks for something different, something that's not the most comfortable and easy thing to do. So for example, sometimes we choose to vibrate the easy notes, but in the musical sense, that would not work to phrase it the way you want to. And it can unintentionally really hurt a musical phrase. And also another thing that I see, for example, is you're playing a lyrical passage and only some of the notes get vibrated, or some of the notes are suddenly have really nice vibrato, and others, they just seem kind of not quite there, but they should really be connected to sound like an organic phrase. In some cases, it's even a case of vibrating notes that really shouldn't have any vibrato at all. And this is something I have to pay attention to sometimes, because it's easy to just kind of, like I said, default and do what feels natural, what works. But then, if you self-record yourself and listen back and something just doesn't quite seem right about the phrase, I would really try to explore that as one of the possible things to adjust. And finally, another thing that's very easy to do with defaulting is to use the same kind of vibrato in Brahms and Mozart, which is, it's ridiculous because they're two completely different styles of music and they should be approached completely different. So what I encourage you to do, and what I often encourage myself to do, is to try to develop vibrato even further in order to develop a more diverse palette in the arsenal, so that it feels more natural when we express our music, and so it doesn't feel like something's just off. So a great place to start are actually the 3 exercises I introduced in my previous video, and I will link that as well. But now I'm going to actually show you my favorite way to prevent defaulting when practicing. And this is the method that's been most effective for me. This exercise will encourage your musical intuition to lead your technical execution and not the other way around. So for my musical example, I'm going to use the beginning of Saint-Saëns' Introduction and Rondo Capriccioso. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is actually we're going to put our instruments down. And what we're going to do is sing. We're going to sing it the way we would like to play it. Don't worry if your singing isn't very good, if it's not as good as you're playing. Mine certainly isn't. In fact, I'm a pretty bad singer, but I still try to express the music the way I would like to on the violin. So, you know, do the phrasing, do the dynamics, show the character the best you can. Show the tension and release of the phrase. And as you're singing, allow your left hand, so I'm holding my violin here, allow your left hand to assist your singing by conducting. And I don't mean conducting like giving clear beat or anything like that. No, what I mean is pretend like you're painting the music on a canvas in front of you. I'm actually right-handed, so it's kind of weird imagining painting a canvas with my left hand. But, you know, it's an abstract idea, but give it a try. And if you can sense that your left hand is like a natural extension from your heart and from your voice, then it can become a really expressive tool. And you might notice that sometimes the fingers might want to vibrate sometimes, you know, on their own in a natural way. And it's by instinct. So this exercise can be the very thing to help you get over defaulting when using vibrato. So just for a short demonstration before my phone dies, by the way, I have like 30% left. So just as a quick demonstration, at the very beginning of this piece, okay, so, you know, maybe I did it this way now, and if I do it again, it might look a little bit different. But what I was doing, I wasn't choreographing my left hand. I just left my left hand do what feels natural with the melody. So the next level of this exercise is to play the melody on open strings while singing still, but keep your expressive left hand active. So notice just by keeping the left hand off the strings, it allows it to have some freedom. And sometimes the moment we put our fingers on the strings, suddenly we want to do this or something, or we just do what feels normal. So finally, put the fingers on the string and see if you can get the same sensation. Depending on what happens, you might end up with a slightly exaggerated version of it, and that's actually great. That's actually great if that happens, because it's much easier to start big and then scale it down later. It's hard to do the opposite. It's hard to start small and try to really grow it, which is why I think singing is a great tool for this, because then the left arm can be the most expressive it can be, and then we can translate it to the instrument. Go back and forth between playing and singing and see what happens, you know, just give it a try, self-record yourself and compare the before and after. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please share it with a friend or a colleague and give me a thumbs up so that YouTube is more likely to share these kind of videos with you in the future. Alright, happy practicing, and I will see you next week.